Science seeks to avoid assumptions and to describe what the world is like based only on observation of what is. But science is not free of initial assumptions. Einstein's paper on general relativity begins with a page stating the philosophical assumptions he made before he got on with the science. In the last century, science and philosophy have grown apart, and the foundational assumptions of science now go largely unexamined. However, science itself shows us an intelligible world that has beings in it, human people, who can perceive and grow in the understanding of natural laws that make the world intelligible. So I'm going to make a choice between two assumptions. I could choose to be frequentist. That means only using probability based on the frequency of results from many trials. That's the strictly reductionist way of doing things. It assumes that how things are is the only way they can be. That means we can't imagine hypotheses or possibilities, we can only follow the numbers. And leaps in human knowledge usually begin with imagination, so let's come back to this next week. The alternative is Bayesian probability. Now I can use random variables to create models for unknowns. We're going to assume that the universe does not have to be the way it is, and use Bayesian probability to imagine other possibilities. Let's start with something we all know as an example, the Earth. For life to evolve with the complexity that it has, our planet requires the right kind of star, the Sun, to be the right distance from the Sun, like Goldilocks porridge, not too hot and not too cold. A moon orbiting at the right distance and of the right size to produce tides. The Earth has to be formed by planetary collisions large enough to produce its molten core, but not so large that everything is destroyed. In its history, at the right geological time, there had to be vast meteor showers to provide water and oxygen. The Earth must be volcanically active, with its tectonic plates to allow for a vast input of carbon dioxide from the core to heat the planet. Then there had to be ice ages to cool the Earth down again and stress early microbial life into evolving. And that's a simplified list. To varying degrees, each of the above requirements for life on this planet is a rare event. Taken together, all the factors are called rare Earth theory. We can go further and show that the fundamentals of the universe are directed to ends, including life. There are natural laws which include the power of the force of gravity that we can feel, but also laws working at the subatomic level, like the forces of electromagnetism, the strong nuclear force, the decay of neutrons, which creates the weak force, and the mass given by the boson. Keeping the same assumption, we can dig a little deeper into the working of the universe. There is, as the mathematician Emily Noether showed, symmetry at the heart of physical laws. They are unchanging over time because of symmetry, or in other words, the laws of nature work to conserve themselves to remain the same. Using Newton's third law of motion as an analogy to Noether's work on symmetry, for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. The universe balances itself out. That there are natural laws that allow for intelligent multicellular life to exist and then to observe and come some way in understanding those laws is to many of us, whether we believe in God or not, to be perceived as extraordinary, wonderful, and requiring an explanation. For those who consider that the universe could have been other than it is, and that slight changes in any one of the many laws and conditions, such as the quantity of hydrogen in the early universe, would mean no life as we know it. The universe's order is something which needs an explanation. This is the fine-tuning argument. To overcome these many coincidences posed by rare Earth and fine-tuning, some physicists suggest that we live not in a universe but a multiverse, an infinite number of universes begun by the same event. This would mean that even if rare Earth theory is correct, and that this universe is fine-tuned for life by self-maintaining natural laws and conditions in the early universe, Whilst the chances of our planet Earth existing in one universe are slim, then we can also accept that in a multiverse, a practically infinite number of universes, it's inevitable. So, does a multiverse explain natural law? Do we still need God? The simplest solution, it is said, is often the best. Applying Occam's razor, the principle that the more assumptions you've made, the less likely the explanation is to be correct, some say shows that there is no need of a creator, because a creator is an additional and therefore less likely assumption. However, the multiverse still has a beginning requiring both a first mover, cause, and necessary being, as in the previous video, but furthermore each universe in the multiverse is now assumed to exist as an explanation for what we know exists, a practically infinite number of assumptions that still require a first cause. On the other hand, Christian reason only needs one assumption. The universe being as it is, governed by natural laws that lead to the presence of complex life capable of observing those laws, is evidence of a lawgiver. As St. Thomas Aquinas' fifth argument for God suggests, we observe in the universe, which has no innate intelligence, that things act to certain ends, such as the possibility of life, by certain laws. So those natural laws are evidence of an intelligent lawgiver, because things without intelligence cannot order themselves towards ends. As far as we know, unconscious and unintelligent structures such as galaxies, stars, planets, elements and atoms all follow intelligible laws which themselves obey and work towards the ends of the symmetry which maintains them. Without an intelligent will, a being of purpose and wisdom, things could not be ordered towards certain ends as they clearly are. Dig a little further, and there is a language at work beyond physics. It was the Christian and father of the scientific method Galileo who said, "Mathematics is the language in which God has written the universe." This line of thinking is the foundation of modern science. Without these assumptions of natural consistent laws which are observable, and the assumption that we're capable of that observation, and have a language which is of the same kind as those laws, then the discipline of science would not get off the ground. If someone showed you a book, bound, written with stunning prose, illustrated and full of deep characters, you would be sure there was an author. If there is a story, you know there is a storyteller. If there are laws, there must be a lawgiver. We do not only point to a creation as something animated and caused, but as intelligible and working towards ends, and to ourselves as those who perceive the universe. We do not nor could we live in a chaos of unstable matter. We live in the universe as it is, founded on symmetry and natural law. Werner Heisenberg said that the first gulp from the glass of natural sciences will turn you into an atheist, but at the bottom of the glass God is waiting for you. At first glance, science shows us how it all works, but with a deeper sip we find that each of those mechanisms or laws are so many more marvels that the universe holds to its very foundations. Each is necessary for both life and understanding to be possible. There is a creator, because there is more than just a universe. There is this universe, this planet, and the possibility of reason. To the Christian, this is both a gift and an act of communication by the intelligent will of the Creator.